Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We're zooming in and focusing in a little bit more in depth on what it means to be blocked, what it means to be stuck, what it means to be hung up, what it means to be sort of having a crippling anxiety, depression, or ability to kind of make decisions or choices or live towards a productive future. And especially as it results as a wound, a hurt, or an experience after a relationship with a malignant narcissist or a psychopath. An individual who has given you deniability of your identity, deniability of your identity, your values, your wishes, your needs. They have refused those. They have not validated them within you, and how they become, a state of where they are denied or wither away or are not attended to, and it's really as if if you don't use it, you lose it, and so it's really sort of a loss of identity, a sort of a disruption of that knowing of who one is in a healthy sense of the term. Because of the emotional projection and lack of empathy of a malignant narcissist or a psychopath, they're not able to really validate or experience with you simultaneously your needs, your wishes, your desires, your very being, sort of the what makes you you, the essence, the from what that your consciousness, that from which your thought, your heartbeat springs forth. And oftentimes this is a very difficult experience because you feel other-centered, other-focused, preventing the fear, and living in a sort of state of fear because of this. And the deniability of this within you becomes really sort of set up or it's really lodged in the being as a state of a block, an emotional block, a creative block, a being block, a physical block. We might call this a disease. You might call this, an inability to move forward, a sort of crippling state of being, or being caught up in the wrong circle, caught up in the wrong profession, you're in the wrong element. You're like a fish out of water. All of a sudden you're living somewhere you don't want to live. You're working someplace you don't want to work. You've got friends which you do not really feel as friends. You're engaging in a lifestyle that's really not a good lifestyle. This is not working anymore. And you become kind of like against the wall. You become saying, this is not right for me. This is not me. I can't do this anymore. I've had it. I call it quits. And oftentimes this state comes not really as a state of burnout, but it comes more oftentimes as a state of a deniability of oneself, one's needs, one's wishes, really what you require in life. It becomes from a state of denying. So if you deny something to be so, oftentimes you have to live in a state of a denial to live in a relationship or be in a relationship with a malignant narcissist or a psychopath, because they oftentimes require this of you to live in a state of denial. They don't give you a full life experience. They don't allow you to be independent, autonomous, self-responsible, having your own voice, being yourself without the shame, without the criticism, without the ridiculing that is so excessive. As part of oftentimes people who are in relationships with these individuals have had so much of it that they have it almost as a whole part of their being. An arm and a leg is caught up in this criticism, this condescension, this chronic criticism, belittling, shaming. This becomes so ingrained that part of their body almost feels, unlovable. And that is really as what occurs in a person who is in a relationship with a malignant narcissist or a psychopathic individual, someone who controls by this sort of negative projection or negative validation of others. So you become in a state of deniability. So in order to adapt, in order to adjust, in order to get through and sort of survive, you have to deny yourself. It's just like, and then you deny what you need to quote unquote make it in life, to, be attached and connect with those people who are, where you want to or should be, your sort of life purpose, your life destiny, that which your divine self, has sort of, templated or in your inner workings as part of you to spring forth. So, your talent, your goodness, your ability to thrive independently is sort of shut down. It's just, the barricade is up. You're not going there. You can't go into the parking lot of your life because you have to be here to satisfy my needs. I need to make you unhappy to validate me versus allowing you to be happy and me attend to your needs. So oftentimes these are, based early in life, or early in one's relationships with life. So, when someone is a teenager, or their 20s or 30s, where yes, the mind is not fully developed, it's still very immature into the teens and 20s, oftentimes, or sometimes, you might see that rare exception to the rule where someone is in their 20s and they're very responsible, very accountable, but oftentimes, people are not mature at the age of 21, not able to have kids, a job, balance a budget, a mortgage, you are not ready yet, 20, human beings, we take a long time to mature here, people. You see birds that can, or, other sort of animals that can do it all, within a couple of months of their being. Human beings, we're a lot more complex. We have, there's a lot more going on with human beings and our creative ability and what we have to contribute to life. And so it is this really sort of deniability, though, of your experience in life on that positive, having your needs met, which is a very deep topic when you really truly think about it. Like human Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you ever study that, or if you ever wanted to, Maslow, Maslow, talks about the hierarchy of needs and how basically you will not move on to become self-actualized until your bottom rung needs are met. So, he talks about food and clothing and shelter and love and affection, and then, becomes your self-actualization. So until those, and then socialization needs. But really, it's your socialization, oftentimes then is down, like before you can even have those other, affection needs met. You need to sacrifice oftentimes a lot of these for the sake of the malignant narcissist or the psychopath in order to, as you are a supply source to them. So if your parent was this, or your significant other, your lover, before you were a mature person, you became very much a backseat, or you didn't, experience life on that sort of responsible level. So you need to realize that, the answer for you now is to live from that self-responsible state for your being, for your physical prosperity, your financial prosperity, for your relationship prosperity, for, getting into that quantum field where life begins to kind of, really become more energetic and more passionate and really more functioning. And even though you thought it was all about this person, your life is maybe trying to call you forth right now into this higher energy lifestyle, which is really where life is moving us forward. When we look at all the technology and using it for good rather than technology using us, you need to really make sure that you're distinguishing that for yourself moving forward, that you use technology to enhance and improve and move forward your life so that your life expands and you're able to really sort of live on all senses on that highly alert, productive, and happy, vibrant state. That is the natural state of being. But oftentimes that is not what is communicated to you by a malignant narcissist or a psychopath. Because if they can control you, if they can make you depressed, if they can make you unhappy, if they can inflict pain, then who's in control? It's just like the person, it's like, there's a lot in the news where a 6 and 8 year old is robbing people with a gunpoint. Well, who's in control? The 6 to 8-year-old with a gun. I mean, if you have, they can easily, pull a trigger. And so who becomes in control? The one who's hurting? And so do you see how the malignant narcissist or psychopath can inflict hurt through physical, emotional, psychological pain, fear? They are controlling by this negative vice. They get instant credibility. They get instant authority. Just like, the 6-year-old, they have instantly command over that situation. So be very, very careful, become very aware, and really become very attuned and very sensitive to this experience of you in life. And I think it'll really help you to reap tons of rewards of benefits if you can realize, whether you're controlled by, the experience of love, happiness, joy, and bliss, and then producing and living your life purpose from this versus living underneath the control and guise of emotional manipulator such as a malignant narcissist or psychopath who is trying to control by fear, hurt, pain, anxiety, and really sort of awfulizing of situations. It's peace and harmony with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.